Today on Why I Kept It, it's time for Risk Legacy. Risk Legacy is a game you could say has created its own legacy in the form of legacy games. Now, these are types of games where play continues from one game to the next. You might just call that a campaign, but there's a bit more to it. We're talking about destruction of components, permanently changing board states, a lot more involved games than just, say, progressing to the next mission. And Risk Legacy was the first to do this. Now, I can't tell you too much about what happens in Risk Legacy, not because there's spoilers inside, which there is, but because if you want to talk about piles of shame, this is the granddaddy of my pile of shame. I've not played Risk Legacy, and this came to me when it first came out as a very early copy. This was from when I was reviewing at MTV, and they sent this with a personal note from Rob Daviau saying, hey, this is a brand new type of game, this is what to expect. I've since lost the note, never played it, never wrote the review for MTV. I tried my hardest to get a group together to play this game, and everyone was afraid. People were afraid to commit to saying, I'm not the biggest Risk fan. Do I want to commit to playing 15 games of Risk to see this campaign through to the end? And I think that sounds pretty cool. I still want to do it, and that's why I'm keeping it. I will go to my grave having played Risk Legacy. I might be 80 before I get it to the table, but it's going to happen. Now, Legacy games, you could say, have definitely hit it big. I mean, Pandemic Legacy is the spiritual successor to this. That's the same designer, Rob, partnered up with Matt Leacock of Pandemic fame, creating the top-ranked game on BGG for the past year. And it doesn't look like it's going anywhere. So, if you want an interesting conversation piece, and you want to be able to say, hey, I played the first one, Risk Legacy is where you're going to start. Now, if you're not familiar or you haven't seen it yet, I will show you a bit of this because it's pretty damn cool. I mean, you open up the box and right off the bat, it presents you with packets of information that you are only allowed to open when specific events happen in the game. Right on the board here, you've got a contract that we the undersigned have taken responsibility for the war. Everyone has to put their signature on the board. It's pretty much standard Risk once you get in there. There's different types of units, and they have powers, and there's missiles and such. There's more packets in the tray that get open. But the craziest thing is if you are a madman and you remove the vacuum-formed plastic insert, there is an envelope here at the bottom that says, do not open this ever. I'm not going to open it now, but I know myself. If you tell me to push the button, I'm going to not push it. If you tell me not to push the button, I'm eventually going to push it, and that envelope's going to get opened, maybe halfway through turn 1. I don't know, but I've made the promise to myself years ago. Eventually, at Geek Retirement Village, Risk Legacy will come off the shelf and onto the table, and I will have atoned for my biggest board gaming sin. Alright, everybody. Thanks for watching. Hope you have fun. See you around.